What if Ralsei never existed in Deltarune?
No! I'm sorry if I had to. What will you have for 500 units? Ralsei! I'm sorry, no! Disclaimer, no Ralsei plushies were harmed in the making of this video.
I'm going to start off by talking about what is actually Ralsei. I mean, what is the object that is Ralsei, because all darkness is an object. The thing is, Ralsei is in every Dark World, so Ralsei has to be an item that can be carried around. Many people think it's Chris's monster headband. Toriel talks about the monster headband, saying it's an item that Chris used to use so they could blend in with the monsters, because, yeah, Chris is a human. They're kind of the odd one out of everyone. So the theory is that Chris carries it around as like a sentimental thing in their pocket. That would make sense because Ralsei has horns like on the monster headband too. But in chapter 5 it's confirmed that it's not something that Chris has. The reason why is because when Susie goes into Castletown on her own in the end of chapter 5, Ralsei's still there, so it has to be Susie that's carrying around the thing. So it can't be the monster headband, it has to be something that Susie owns. I think it's the chalk that Susie ate. That's Ralsei. The reason why Susie hasn't pooped out Ralsei is because Susie has indigestion. So then Susie has to make the decision to remove her indigestion or keep Ralsei. I know that's such a compelling and great idea. Wait, why is everyone booing? No, I swear. Although, seriously, I generally have no idea of what Ralsei is. So let's just say Ralsei is a marshmallow that got stuck to Susie. Like, do you know when a marshmallow gets like hot, it like it gets like sticky and like melts, like kind of gross. But then Susie notices the marshmallow, aka Ralsei, and ate it. So Ralsei got eaten by Susie. So now when they go to the Dark World, Ralsei isn't there. That makes a huge impact on the whole of Deltarune. Firstly, Chris and Susie would never find out about the prophecy. So they wouldn't try to be a team because, yeah, why would they? They don't have to. They would just be focused on trying to get out of the Dark World as fast as possible. So they would probably just do whatever they wanted, because as well, they were probably like, they're probably thinking like, is this a dream? Or like, they probably were questioning if it was even real. So Chris and Susie would probably be separated. They would do their own things, but I do think they would still meet Lancer because he does show up right in the start and he's the first enemy you ever fight in Deltarune. So, but I doubt Lancer knows the prophecy. Sorry about that, Lancer. But I feel like Lancer the Goat would still be able to make a positive impact on Susie. Although without Ralsei, I think it'll be pretty hard to trust Darkness. After all, this is their first time seeing them. For all they know, Darkness could be trying to eat them. I think Lancer and Susie would eventually get along, but it will probably take a while. And I don't think their friendship would be that strong since they'll probably still think it was a dream or like not real or something. I think they could maybe make it to Card Castle, but it would be tough because they don't have the tutorial that Ralsei gives them. So then Lancer would lock them up in prison, like in the regular story. But there's one big thing here. Would Susie kill Lancer? Sadly, I think she would overswing. Without the extra kindness from Ralsei, Susie would probably kill Lancer. I bet she would feel bad afterwards, but to her, Dark Worlds don't really seem that real. I feel like if I ended in a Dark World, I would 100% think it was a dream. And without that extra reassurance from Ralsei, Susie would probably overswing, sadly. Now moving on to King. Since Lancer is dead, when King asked to be healed, he would just probably get killed by Susie. I feel like after Lancer's death, Susie wouldn't even talk to Chris, so she would just be silent the whole time because of the guilt and confusion She wouldn't know what emotion to feel. Then they would go past King and seal the Dark Fountain. Susie and Chris would never come back to the Dark Fountain because they don't know the prophecy, so why would they even go back? I imagine the next day when Noelle and Birdley go into the Dark Fountain, they would die without Susie and Chris's help. Because why would Chris or Susie even go in there? They aren't even friends in this scenario. It would be a tragedy every day. People would go missing, like Birdley, Noelle, Undine, Asgore. Lots of mysterious things would happen. Plus, Susie would probably take out all her anger on Chris. It would get worse and worse each day as Susie's guilt builds up. I know this sounds a little crazy, but I feel like it would get to the point where Susie would kill Chris. Considering that her bullying was terrible even before the Dark World, she literally slammed Chris against a locker just because Chris saw her eat chalk. Imagine what she would do if Chris saw her commit mass genocide on the Darkness. Plus, Susie not knowing if that actually happened or not would drive her insane. Hometown would become hell. With no one to seal the Dark Fountains, on day 7, that's when things really get serious. The roaring would happen, and with no one able to stop it, the whole earth would crumble. Because in the prophecy, Ralsei says, when the roaring happens, earth will breathe her last breath. What's crazy is all because one person wasn't there. Chris, Noelle, Birdley, and the whole earth would die over the span of a week. So without Ralsei, everyone would die. It's crazy to think though. Anyways, have a great day and thank you for watching. Bye.